Good morning. This morning I want to be real with everyone and share something that I don't talk about very much. Usually I'm talking about connection because I'm the connection coach, and connection is what has helped me get through a lot of my trials in life and what I believe can help other people get through their trials. But this morning I want to talk about one of my biggest trials that I'm going through right now. I have endometriosis. And there isn't enough people talking about endometriosis right now. And so I want to take the platforms that I have to share, this hair, a little more about endometriosis and what it is like, because there's millions of women that have endometriosis and that struggle with it, and millions of women that feel very alone, not realizing how many women have endometriosis and struggle with its side effects. So this morning I woke up around 6 a.m. My alarm wasn't set till 7:15, and I had this terrible migraine. I've been having lots of headaches lately. Part of that is probably just with my job working with tech stuff and having to stare at computer screens all day. But another part of it is just how my body is reacting right now to having so many hormones pumped into it in order to treat the symptoms of endometriosis. Endometriosis is basically, it's a women's chronic illness that makes the stuff that would come out during a period grow on the outside of the uterus and the fallopian tubes and the ovaries. And when it grows on the outside, it's usually in the form of a cyst, and cysts burst, which is totally normal for women, but if it has endometrioma in it, then that will grow in that space that it bursts into on the outside of the female organs right there, and will latch on to other things if it's not taken out by surgery. So some women will have such bad endometriosis that goes unchecked and untreated, and it will grow in, like, basically latch onto other organs and stick their organs together. It is a very, very, very painful disease, and it's just basically, I don't even know, like, it's not a mutation or anything, it's just growing incorrectly and going in the wrong direction. Periods are very normal. Obviously, it's supposed to happen every month, but if you have that stuff growing in the wrong direction every single month and building up, then you've got a huge mess to deal with. So many women have surgeries every year, every other year, in order to kind of keep that stuff from growing onto other organs when it grows on the outside of where it's supposed to grow. The surgery's pretty minimal in the nature of it. It's usually laparoscopic, so they stick little things straight into your lower abdomen, and they use a little camera, and they're able to get things out without totally opening you up. It's still very, very painful. Usually takes at least 6 to 8 weeks to heal from the surgery. So I had my first surgery last year around May, so almost to my 1-year mark, woohoo. But the unfortunate thing is that that's not the end of it. A lot of women have to keep having these surgeries, and in between surgeries, there's a ton of pain that women have to go through. It can hurt to walk, it can hurt to run, it can hurt, obviously, to work out can cause a lot of pain because those muscles around that area are very damaged from either the surgery or from having those large cysts pushing things around where they shouldn't be. And there's a lot of other things that come with endometriosis. So, gosh, I could list off literally a huge list of different, not illnesses, but just disorders that come with endometriosis, just from the nature of all of those very sensitive muscles down there being shoved around, having surgeries, etc. It can cause a lot of pain going to the bathroom. It can cause a lot of pain simply laying down and having those muscles move from being straight up to down. Like, it is a very sensitive thing that causes daily pain for lots of women, and a lot of women are just dealing with it because when you go to the doctor, they just tell you to take more painkillers. I literally called my well, I actually just got a new doctor, but the doctor before, I just called him maybe a month ago and talked to their nurses, and they told me because my painkiller wasn't doing anything, and the hot pads and hot baths and all those things they tell you to do in order to manage the pain weren't working for me. They said, well, take the maximum dose of ibuprofen and the maximum dose of Tylenol and mix them together, and then you'll have an even stronger dose of pain medicine that you can start taking. And then I had another doctor or another nurse that was saying that they could prescribe Percocet to me to take regularly. So there's a huge opioid epidemic. They're calling it the opidemic in Utah. And I really think that's a huge problem, is that there's these chronic illnesses that are going around, and instead of there being enough research to get to the root problem and solve it and cure it, instead doctors are pushing people to take more heavy doses of painkiller to just cope with it instead of fixing it. And endometriosis doesn't have enough study to it, and so it's just hard to know what else to do, and women are in pain every single day. I mean, some women don't have it that bad, some have it every other day. I'm only a stage 2, and I have pain every single day, every day. I go to bed with pain, I wake up with pain. If I stand up the wrong way, I have pain. And I've gone through work with my OBGYN. I've gone through physical therapy for months and months. I am now with a new doctor who's going to send me to a couple of other specialists to see if they can help with some of the side effects. Tried lots of different pain management. It's just something that lots of women struggle with, and there's not really enough study to cure it, and so we're just managing the pain. So this is something that I'm really passionate about. It's not something that I talk enough about, I think, because it can be uncomfortable for people that don't know about endometriosis to listen to it and be like, oh, well, that's weird, I don't have that, so I don't want to listen to it. But I really think people need to know that it's not normal. It's not something that you just have to deal with. There's studies going on that are trying to find ways to either help manage the pain or find a cure for it. And in the meantime, you're not alone, and it's so painful, and those who are dealing with it, I just have so much respect for you, and I look up to you, because I don't always deal with my pain very well. I get really cranky, and I get very depressed sometimes, and there's days where I'm in so much pain I don't want to talk to anybody. I'll go to work and I'll put my headphones on. I'm the connection coach, and I don't want to talk to people sometimes because I'm in so much pain. So I'm so passionate about endometriosis, and that there needs to be more work done to solve this huge chronic issue that is going all over the place. All these women getting it. I mean, it starts when kids are in high school. It can start as early as when girls start having periods, which for me, I started when I was 12 years old. So, I mean, I always really had a lot of pain, and I thought it was normal until my 20s. And then I was in so much extreme pain, I went in and they found out that I had that, and had to do a surgery a week later. So it's a big issue, and I just want to talk about it because I think it's important. I'm actually going in this morning to have one of my birth control implants taken out. I have an implant, and then I had the depot shot on top of that. So that is a lot of birth control pumping through my body right now. And I'm a pretty decently petite woman, and I have had lots and lots of side effects from having 2 major progesterone releasing birth controls. Lots of zits in places I didn't know you could get zits. I'm wearing a lot of makeup right now to try to hide my zits. Lots of acne that just broke out because of so much hormones being pumped into my body at the same time all of a sudden. That's abnormal for my body. I've had major mood swings. If your woman is on birth control and she has mood swings, get her some chocolate, ice cream, flowers, pamper her, because she's going through a lot of shit. It sucks. I had some serious mood swings when the second progesterone, I had the shot. So when that was put in on top of the implant, oh my gosh, I had I've never dealt with I've never had a problem with anger in my life. until I had this second thing added in and all of the hormones. I would be cooking and I would randomly like burst with anger because I couldn't, like, just the hormones, I couldn't handle it. It was so abnormal for me and so rough on my body that I would just like have so much going on. I would just burst. Like, oh my gosh, I need to go for a walk. I cannot handle this. Like, I need some air. So it is some serious stuff that goes through your body. So I'm going in this morning to have my implant taken out. I'm supposed to have my depot shot. Again, you're supposed to have them every 3 months. So I'm skipping my depot shot. And I'm going to be doing an endometriosis study, which I'm so excited for because there just isn't enough study going on for endometriosis to try to cure it. So I'm going to join a study in June. I have to be off of actually it'll be the beginning of July. I have to be off of all my birth control for 2 months because this stuff is really strong before I can start that study. They're going to be monitoring me very closely and monitoring my endometriosis as well as my pain and just taking care of me, but also getting research and information on this chronic illness. So I'm so excited to be able to give back. I think that there's a lot of women that have worse endometriosis than me, and it is not possible for them to do a study because they just have to be on so much birth control and so much surgery going on and just so much going on with them that it's not possible for them to be able to go off of their birth control and off of their treatments in order to do a study. So I'm really grateful that I have this trial, but that I don't have it as hard so that I can give back and try to help other women that have this issue. So I hope that this kind of helps educate some people today. And those of you women that have endometriosis, my heart goes out to you so much. I recently met another woman that has endometriosis just on Instagram, and she was calling me an endo sister, and I was like, man, I haven't heard that term. That's adorable. I love that because it's truly a sisterhood that kind of forms to support each other in this very frustrating, painful, difficult experience. So I love you, even if I don't know you, the fact that you have this trial that I understand at least a little bit. You are warriors, and the men in your lives or the women in your lives that are supporting you when they don't have endometriosis, you guys are amazing, because it is hard to empathize with something as unique as this trial and to empathize with something that you really cannot understand unless you go through it. I mean, even for me, I had a male OBGYN, and for me it was so frustrating. It's like, you don't understand how much pain I'm in. And he'd be like, I know, I'm sorry. And it's just interesting. I'm my husband too. He's been amazing. So patient and empathetic and loving. And he's tried so hard to help me when I'm going through my different experiences with this. So you guys are amazing that, you guys don't understand, but you're able to help people going through this really awful illness. I really hope for the best for the study that I'm part of, and I hope the best that 10 years down the road we're further along with this and that people can find relief faster than they can today. I know that we're a lot further along today than we were 10 years ago. So anyway, I just wanted to share this today and kind of go in a different direction and share something that is near and dear to my heart. So thank you for listening, and let me know if you have any specific questions. I'm so happy to answer any questions about endometriosis or anything else. So love you guys. Bye.